Right, so here we are, Harley Davidson. This beauty is what we're going to be test riding today. I think it looks quite cool, especially in this grey color. Yeah, this is pretty much stock 2020 model, Milwaukee 8 107 engine. The only addition to it is this bar, which is detachable. But yeah, everything else is as you see. So we're just gonna jump on a bike, ride it for a bit, and then we'll stop somewhere, and then we'll have a look at various bits and pieces in more detail. Oof, I am really excited. This is actually my second time test riding a Harley. So we have keyless ignition, which is quite cool. Oh, that was nice. Okay, let's go. Right, here we are. This feels really good. But yeah, so this is my second time riding a Harley. I am not used to this forward controls. It just feels a little bit weird to me, but I'm sure I'll get used to it. Oh, this feels nice. Yeah, so as I was saying, this is the second time I'm riding a Harley, and the previous one was a Sports S. I rode it a couple of weeks ago, and to start with, it felt sort of similar. I'm not really used to this forward foot control position, but this is definitely more comfortable. I think it's mainly because the handlebars obviously are closer to you, so my arms are actually not even fully stretched. So this is a more relaxed position. You have indicators, and this is this is interesting for me, because you have the one on the left and the one on the right. On the right, obviously, makes sense, right? Apparently this is typical for Harley, so I didn't know that. I'm always used to just one of them. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. So yeah, this is the 2022 model. So this is the 2022 model. It comes with ABS standard, keyless ignition, and also cruise control. So you have this really cool dash here, with also a digital display as well. You can change what you see on the digital display. So right now we have the clock, RPMs, and different mile trips. Now this is a big bike. Everything is big about it, right? This is Harley, right? This is typical Harley. There's a huge tank. I think it's almost 90 liters, so I think it's 18.9 or something like that. It has quite a big profile. Obviously this is smaller, I think, than all the other ones that you see, like the big proper tourer. So I think this is more of a in between the Sports S and a touring bike, so that's why you have the Sport Glide compared to the other ones. But yeah, everything about it is big. The bike is big. You can see even the handlebars. They're thicker than other bikes. However, with that being said, and I think also weighs what, 300 plus kilograms. I think it's 317 with like petrol and oils and everything. So it's a very heavy bike. However, despite that, it's a very nimble bike. I mean, look at this. It feels so easy. I'm not joking. It honestly feels even easier than my Kawasaki Z900 to just, like, lean it. It feels really, really good. I never really saw myself riding a Harley until recently. I have a friend who rides a Harley, you know, so and another friend who actually wants a Harley, so that kind of like got into my head. And I'm not really into those huge kind of like touring bikes sort of looks. I want something that is, you know, smaller, something that's also easier through town, doesn't really have like a big profile, and more importantly something that is comfortable. Yeah, so one thing I really like about this compared to the Sports S, so the Sports S, when I test rode it, it was fine up to a certain point. In fact, GoPro sort of screwed the footage. Well, not screwed the footage, but I had so many problems with GoPros, but that's a topic for a different video. And yeah, basically I lost the footage for however, one thing I noticed with that bike is that it looks good, but you're sacrificing the looks for the comfort. So the first thing is the suspension. It was really bad. I mean, I could feel every single you know, even these things where the roads merge, where the roads is patched and that sort of stuff, I could feel that on the Sports S, and I could feel it quite badly, and that's not good. And in fact, it's pretty much the same with all the other video reviews of the Sports S I've seen. However, this one, it feels good, it feels comfortable, and apart from that, I really like this sort of curved seat, because when you're riding, you're sort of pushing yourself against the seat, whilst with the Sportster S you really have to hold on, because you don't have that. And because the foot controls are also forwards compared to a street bike, a sports bike, where the foot controls are sort of backwards. So when you're riding and it's very windy, you can almost use your legs to push yourself against, you know, and you can easily ride with one hand. With the Sportster S, I couldn't really do that, especially when it was windy, because there was nothing to hold against to. The only thing was the handlebars, that's it. But this one definitely feels a lot better. Yeah, the seat is better, the suspension seems a lot better than Sportster S, feels very comfortable. I think after I rode the Sportster S for like half an hour, I could really feel my bike. This one, at least right now, it might change. Obviously we have the bike for a couple of hours, so we'll see how it goes, but this one, I could probably easily ride it for the whole day. Honestly, that's how comfortable it is. I'm actually surprised. I'm really surprised. A friend of mine, Ponton, he has like one of those big touring bikes, and he was the one who actually suggested this, because I told him I test rode the Sports S and he wasn't really comfy, and he suggested this, and yeah, I'm quite happy I took it for a spin. It feels really, really good. And honestly, now that I test rode this, you know, I could see myself, you know, having one of these. Wow, this feels really good. Right, so let's talk about so we were pretty much talking about comfort. So comfort's definitely very, very good. You know, I quite like this, you know, forward foot controls, but also having these handlebars definitely makes it more comfy. So it's a very, very relaxed ride. So yeah, this is very good. Wind protection, I'm not really sure how much this protects you from the wind. I guess it sort of protects your chest. However, one thing I've learned, I've learned about Harley is that, you know, once you own a Harley, the world is your oyster. You can customize it however you want. So, you know, if you're touring in one of these and, you know, you want some more wind protection, I'm sure you can change this for something taller. Now, at the same time, if you're not touring, one cool thing about this is you can actually take it off. So you can take it off and then just have the headlight, so if you're just riding it to the town. The other thing you can take off are the panniers. So obviously this comes with the side panniers, the standard, which again I quite like the look of the panniers, to be honest. So so yeah, that's also very good. Now, in terms of the engine, I don't really know all the details, all the specs. You know, I haven't had much time to. Let's put it this way, this is just not that sort of review where I'm going through absolutely everything. It's not. This is just me test riding, someone who has never test rode a Harley before. Well, it's the second time, but first time probably doesn't count. And yeah, and just give you my thoughts from someone who has been riding, like, you know, sports bike, that sort of stuff. See, the other thing I've noticed with it has plenty of power when you need it. It's a big bike, but you know, it definitely has the power to pull you, so that's quite good. So yeah, as I was saying, you know, it's I'm not gonna go through every single spec. You know, there are other YouTubers who have done that, so by all means, I'm sure you've probably watched one of those videos already. So these are just my thoughts from someone who has never rode a Harley. Now, the other thing I noticed just now whilst I was in the roundabout, it's the fact that the bike felt very good in, well, obviously that was a roundabout, but it was still a bend, you know, you go around the roundabout. It felt very good to lean it over. With the Sportster S, because it had a big fat tire profile in the front, I felt a little bit harder to lean it over, and even when I would lean it over, I felt like the bike is always like pulling me back, you know. So yeah, another very positive thing about this. The other thing I like is the tank is quite big, you know. I mean, all the other sports, all the other Harleys, the small ones like Sportster S, I think they have a small tank, don't they? 12 liters or so. This is a 18.9, so I think roughly it can probably do like what, 180 miles, maybe 200 miles on it, you know, without having to stop, which is a very, very good range. So now it seems like I'm talking about lots of positives here, but that's the reality, you know. So far I haven't yet seen anything that I don't like, you know. This feels really good, you know. Now I sort of understand what other Harley owners feel when they ride a Harley. It feels like and I'm not joking, it feels like almost like an experience, right? Not just riding a bike is different. You're just cruising and you're enjoying the ride. There's no rush, you know. There's no point having a bike with 200 horsepower to get you somewhere as fast as possible if by the time you get there your wrist hurts, your back hurts, you know. I much rather, at my age, not that I'm too old, but yeah, I much rather, at least, now this is very subjective, but in my case I much rather ride something that is comfortable as this, and I can tell you this is very, very comfortable. The mirrors are quite good as well. Well, I say quite good as in, you know, your hands are not really in the way too much, right? But I can see them vibrating quite a lot. Obviously this is typical for Harley, you can't really stop it. This is one thing people say about Harleys, that the handlebars vibrate a lot, and I must tell you, you know, when I started the engine, so when you're stationary, they do, right? But that's quite a nice feeling, isn't it? You know, you start the bike and you can really feel the bike. But then when you ride, it doesn't feel as bad anymore, you know. It feels normal, you know, to a certain extent. I don't think, you know, maybe, okay, maybe, fair enough, maybe it's a little bit more than my Kawasaki Z900, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad at all. Negatives, so far I don't have any yet. I really don't, you know. Right, I'm trying to find neutral. There we go. Yeah, one of the things which sort of is annoying is very hard to find a neutral. I don't know what it is, a trick or something, but I just can't find a freaking neutral. There we go.
A few moments later.
I came here completely unbiased, you know. I'm not a Harley fan, I'm not a Kawasaki fan or a Honda fan, you know. I don't have any sort of like brand loyalty to anything, so I came here with an open mind, and you know, I just wanted to test a Harley and have this sort of Harley experience. You know, it's a big bike, it's comfortable, it has plenty of power when you need it. Yeah, this definitely doesn't have the acceleration of a sports bike, but it has definitely plenty of power when you need it. So I think this is a 1700cc engine. It has, I was looking at this yesterday, 82 horsepower. Which doesn't seem a lot, but again, trust me, it has plenty of power to, you know, it's more than you need. Let's put it this way, it's more than you need. This is a heavy bike, but I think because the center of gravity is quite low, it's a very nimble bike. I'm surprised. I'm not joking. This feels even more nimble than my Z900. Now this one also has cruise controls as standard, so let's see how that goes. Right, so we are 70 right now. There we go, cruise control is set. Wow, this is amazing. I've never tried cruise control on a bike, but this feels really good. Okay. It's nice because usually I'm used to just, you know, when I want to relax, I'm used to riding with just one hand. But now you can actually put your cruise control and just, not all the time, but obviously you can ride with the other hand. This is absolutely amazing. I'm not sure if my wife will approve. She's not really into this sort of bikes. Because of the style, because of the looks, because of the price as well. Obviously this is not a 5, 7, 10 grand bike. It's I don't even know, I think it starts at I might be wrong, but I will find out and I'll put it on the screen, but I think it starts at 17k or something. So yeah, that is quite pricey, but you do get a very good bike, and so far this bike ticks all the boxes. I love the sound, I love the comfort, it has plenty of power for me. It also has the luggage should I have to go touring or something, you know. So yeah, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Right, I have to be careful in going in bends because I'm not yet used to with with the leaning angle. I'm not sure how much you should or you shouldn't lean. Now the interesting thing is that this is probably the opposite of what I would normally go for. The reason for that is because this is a very simple bike. As you can see, it doesn't have any techy touch screen as the Sportster S. You can't put the Google Maps here or anything like that. You can't connect your phone to this like you can with the Sportster S or with the Z900. I'm a very techy person. I love those sort of stuff. I love my gadgets. However, I must say, I am very surprised by this simplicity. I quite enjoy it now, have this sort of classic screen, a mix, a bit of digital as well, ABS, cruise control, and that's it. Oh, yep, I felt that scraping. I felt my foot scraping the floor. But that wasn't that bad actually. It was still a pretty decent lean angle, you know. You wouldn't really go on roundabouts, you wouldn't really go much faster than that anyway. Ooh, it's really hot. It's definitely 30 plus degrees out here. Right, so just as a recap, guys, you probably know what I'm gonna say, but I really enjoyed the bike. It's very hard to find any negatives, I mean, every bike has its negatives, and I think the best way to find negatives is to actually own the bike. But from me having the bike for a couple of hours, right now I can't find anything. I'm really enjoying it. So would I buy this bike right now? Well, no, not right now, because I can't afford it. Plus I already have a bike. But would I buy this bike in the future? Yes. Right now I'm strongly considering it. I'm sold. I'll be honest. I never saw myself riding a Harley, but having ridden this big boy, I enjoyed it. So it was a really nice experience. So I highly recommend this to anyone who's looking into Harleys. It might not be for you, this is very subjective, but at least go out and test ride one. And of course, if you are around this area, Peterborough, Corby, Kettering, by all means, I highly recommend the guys from Sycamore Harley Davidson in Uppingham. They've been really nice. Thank you so much, guys, for for giving me this bike for a couple of hours to play with it. Ooh. Oh, look at this road. This road is really bumpy, like really bumpy. If I was to bring the Sportster S here, it'll be literally a pain in the ass. But with this one, it feels good. There's quite a big bump here, so I'm definitely gonna feel this. Oh, actually it wasn't that bad. So yeah, the comfort, the seat is nice. So yeah, I would definitely consider this bike. let's try to do a bit of filtering with this bike. Thank you. Yeah, the traffic is pretty bad. No idea what happened. Maybe there was an accident or something. Thank you. The good thing is that we're on a bike. That's one thing I love about bikes in general. I lived in London for about 7 or maybe more, 10 years. And yeah, in London it's all about filtering. Oh, we have another bike. I hope it's nothing bad. The queue here is quite bad. Oh wow, this is probably bad. Wow, so many stuff here. And there's a motorbike. I hope everything is fine. That's a motorbike. I hope they're okay. Right, anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to support my channel, and of course let me know what you think in the comment section below. Right, take care guys, ride safe, and I will see you in the next video.